See what I say lessons, unrelated to anything we say. You lean back when you're about to sneeze. Everyone understands this. Even Japanese animators understand what you apparently have not learned in your entire lifespan.
I sneeze. I'm not gonna make excuses for how I sneeze.
Well, you should. Because nobody knows what's coming with you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Xam'd. Once again, thank you to Yuki Ali for sponsoring these. We come back as we normally do with notes and a board. Well, one of us anyway. So go ahead and hop on over to that board, where of course got the board changelog, where I have added Madame Tension and connected her with a green line to Akiyuki and Nakayami. I tied Shidara to Haru with a white line. I added Xam'd and connected him to Nakayami with a green line. I connected Preuss to Ryuzu with a white line. And I connected Kikisu to Ryuzu with a white line. And I'm already thinking to myself, I'm going to have to probably redo this board for the next time, because it's already getting a bit too tight.
It's clustered. Well, clustered. Cluttered. Brain not working.
Well, just so to the point that we're only 4 episodes in, and I'm already having a difficulty connecting characters together. I need to space them out a bit more, and probably increase the size of the images. And if I do all that, then I might as well just add the key for what the colors mean, and I don't know, maybe do an outline thing for who's who, or not who's from where.
Makes sense. We have at least 3 factions? 4 factions?
More than that.
Oh.
Pretty sure nope, sorry. Thinking about a note that I made for Gundam later. But we have more than that.
Yeah.
No, I had made a note for Gundam, something like the 5th faction, the 6th faction, or something like that. But I had also been trying to remember how many factions were in this show, so I kind of get conflated in my head. Because we get the Northern Government, the Southern Government, or the Southern Free Zone, or whatever it's called. Then you get the cult, and then you get, I don't know if you consider them a faction anymore, considering they're not even considered refugees, but that one group of people of which Nakayami is a part of, and so is Zygon. And I think there's somebody else as well.
The Mailmen, I think.
I guess they're a faction in that there are characters, but in the world, I don't think they're a faction. They're just an independent entity of singular people.
I mean, they must be getting their ships from somewhere. They seems to be that there's
they're
laws
not
about
ships,
them.
It's ship, singular.
No, but there seems to be more than just them as the mail people.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's an individual operation. It's one ship. This one ship is one postal ship, untied to the rest of the postal ships. It'd be like if the guy down your street had a horse, and every so often you gave him a letter and he delivered the letter somewhere else in the state or island or whatever. He is not part of your postal system. He's a guy who carries letters, though.
But it'd be weird if all the postal system were riding on horses too.
Would it? Would not be the Pony Express?
Yeah. And there are laws specifically to deal with the Pony Express, which cover the guy who lives down the street.
Can't apply that to the real world. Can't apply it to the real world because this isn't the real world. This is some...
Yeah, but in this situation, it seems to be that also is the case. They might be independent operators, but they're also operating within this legal aspect that covers...
They're not, though. So you see them frequently running away from government.
Oh,
we just had an argument about Zygon because Zygon sold out to the government. So... This is more like, what do you call it? The origin of race cars.
NASCAR?
No, the origin of race cars.
I mean, bootleggers?
Bootleggers. It's more like bootlegging. You wouldn't call a bootlegger an official of the government.
But they don't get arrested either. I mean, like bootleggers would get arrested or raided.
Yeah, they would get arrested, but they're running from the military, as we already said. As I already said, and you agreed with tentatively. these guys would get arrested. Because we've already covered the fact that they try to avoid, not investigators, what are they called? Essentially, there's been instances of people wanting to board them and investigate what they're holding. And they run from those people.
I don't think to say so. I think we should go into notes then.
I think for some reason, last time we watched the episode, we had gone back and forth over if the person in the pod had become the human form weapon or not, and had come to the conclusion that the guy at the start of the episode was inside the human form weapon, controlling it. On second viewing, it seems more likely to me that this guy is elsewhere, remotely controlling the human form weapon. The Soul Stealers say, find the pod, and capture the human form user before he self-destructs, after they take the collar thing off of the human form weapon, flying away to follow orders, implying that this dude isn't in the thing in front of them.
But it seems to be rocked when there are explosions and attacks as well, so...
He doesn't really. The camera seems to be rocked. Not him. He doesn't do the Star Trek thing, you know? He is just fine. But because the camera is coming from the human form weapon, and the human form weapon is being rocked, then the camera is being rocked, but not him. You know, it'd be like if the Mars rover got picked up by a windstorm. You're watching the camera's getting rocked. You're not getting rocked in your seat watching the camera. The dude's not getting rocked, so the camera's getting rocked.
Yeah, but that's if you're looking at...
Yeah. Remember, our point of view is him looking at, like, view holes thing, and the view holes are getting rocked. He's not getting rocked. He's watching the view holes getting rocked, and the camera is not, from his perspective, isn't getting rocked, but the things that he's looking at are getting rocked. That's what I'm saying. He's not doing the Star Trek. Oh my God. Oh no. You know, he's just doing shit.
Yeah.
So Akiyuki is having nightmares of the island, considering that he wakes up shouting for Haru to run.
Memories or visions of the future?
Memories. He literally got just taken from the island that was under attack, and Haru was in danger, and he left her behind.
Could be. But it could also be visions of the future.
At no point have we had him see any premonition of anything. So I don't know why it would be visions of the future all of a sudden.
But what's the name of the girl who said that you will remember? Nazuna said, "Oh yeah, this will help you remember something to the effect." Natsuna, the terrorist, the one that started the thing in the bus that exploded.
Nazuna?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hearing you say Natsuna. I'm like, who the fuck is Natsuna? I don't know if she said you will remember. I know she said Lost Memories because that's one, the name of the show, and two, it's been said a number of times now. I don't know. Here's the thing. You will remember implies something that happened before. That's not a premonition.
True. That's why I say either it's memories or premonitions.
Like I said, we haven't gotten any premonitions. If you're right, this would be the first time, but it's hard to base a thing off of the first time if you don't know what's happening.
True.
The only person who can get Haruko out of Akiyuki is Sunova, the woman we've seen sending out the cultist people, who they also say is the founder of Ryokun-ism. Interestingly, in the dub, Akiyuki says, the founder of the ancient belief? So I don't know if we are meant to gather that Ryokunism is an old religion or a new thing that's cropped up. I mean, if it's an ancient belief, and she's the founder, which is something they say, then I'd have to start wondering if she's using the stuff to stay alive longer than a normal human lifespan, and maybe this Souls talk actually leads somewhere. Otherwise, it's just a confusing point.
Yeah, we still have a lot of things we haven't. We're going to be in episode 5, so I think there's a lot of things we just don't have any clue about.
I get what Tension is going for. What does Xam'd do? Find your purpose and all that. I just get hung up on the fish swim to seek the ocean, birds fly to seek the sky bit. No, they don't. I don't walk to find the ground. In Tension's mind, everything on the planet is an explorer because they're always seeking something. I just think that Akiyuki would have been better served with a purpose of meaning analogy. He already got hit with the "you can no longer live as a human" right at the start. Just need to nail that home.
But it might be connected to, again, those memories. And if this is an ancient religion, then maybe humanity was, I dare say, maybe the human form weapons might be even the true form of humanity in this place, right? And it's a point of returning them to that. But then, were they rediscovered and then weaponized to become weapons? So maybe they're just, it's how humanity was at some point, or some kind of hybrid or something, right?
I don't think so. Also, weirdly, that feels like a crossover from Yatagarasu, where everyone is actually a giant raven thing, but they all shapeshift into human form. I would say no, only from the element that where are they then? If everyone was originally human form weapons, wouldn't that mean that they should still be around? I know this is cutting territory, because this is the main argument for men evolved from apes. Well, then where are they then? It's a stupid argument there. It feels like a stupid argument here, but it feels like if apes are still around, right? Apes are still around, even if whatever. If we evolve from that, they're still around. So shouldn't there be human form weapon creatures of some shape in the wild?
Perhaps the cult is gathering them, and these are the orbs that they come from, I guess. The whole condom thing we make the joke about, swallowing the... Because it seems to be the whole thing. I mean, with literally some lost memories, there has to be a connection between humanity, or these certain humans, and whatever these creatures are. After all, they're called human form weapons, right? My working theory is that at some point one evolved from the other, or co-evolved. We might even get that, oh, this is not even Earth. This is another planet that humanity landed on, and these were the original creatures,
I assume
right?
It's not Earth. I don't think we're in a Eureka 7 situation.
Yeah. So if that's the case, otherwise, what memories could you recover if they're not part of who you are, right? Someone else's memories, but then why plug them into some?
Could be somebody else's memories.
Yeah.
As per the end of the episode, we're taking souls out of people and then doing stuff with the souls. Could be a My Hero Academia situation with
it could also
be passing on the One for All thing, where you get everyone who was part of One for All before you is in there.
Yeah, the sort of the, what's the term of that? There's the
conglomerate consciousness.
No. I'm talking about the there's a novel series in short books from in the 1970s that came out.
You go with the new sphere, the collective unconsciousness.
Stormbringer, which is what's the name? It's the Eternal Champion. Yeah, the Eternal Champion here series, with there basically is in every reality and every epoch there is an Eternal Champion, that they're all different but also connected together because they're champions of law, chaos, and so there are times where they can be together and work together, different champions, but at times one or more has memories of the others and what they're doing, right?
They're going to go with the one for a bit.
Yeah.
The movie.
No. Yeah, I know. The ending was okay,
good.
I guess.
It was good. It was the nice start to an music video.
Yeah. And what's his name? I read the Elric series, but I know there are other Eternal Champions. Like, essentially, there's always this champion that comes and fights to maintain the balance between chaos and order, right? So they remember each other, and each one has a magical device of some sort that is a link to the champion, what's a sword or a gun or whatever, right? So, yeah, and even famous figures of human history have always been members of
course,
the Eternal Champion, yeah.
I mean, that's like Madoka Magica, and who's been a magical girl? Cleopatra was a magical girl. Joan of Arc was a magical girl. You did, you just do this. This is the easiest way to tie you into the things people would know.
Yeah, imagine like all the heroes of Fate Zero or Fate Stay Night were one and the same. They were one hero but different aspects during human history, right? So but then you were able to summon them and meet each other in a fight. So it kind of reminds me of that.
Raigyo had a picture that Akushiba now has that has Ishu, Kobako, Hinokamaru with X's over their faces, but also has Akushiba and Nakayami without X's in the picture. What does that mean?
Former crew members of the ship that have died?
No, everybody in that picture is alive. I just list Ishu is the captain. Kobaku and Hinokamaru are the two kids. And as I said, Akushiba has the picture. He's in the picture, doesn't not have an X over his face. Nakayami's also in the picture, does not have an X on her face.
Some other connection, perhaps? Or
brilliant. What does it mean? I've assumed they're connected.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, well, it could be that they're they can't be human form weapons, and she sort of singled them out, like, oh, this person can't do this, can't do that,
Well, then why is Akushiba not crossed out?
Isn't being tested yet, I suppose.
So you're saying the kids have been tested?
Could be. Or maybe they cross out because
you're saying
they're too
the
young.
Captain has been tested.
Could be. I think the kids are basically because they're too young, so they've been crossed out. But we don't know how though. We don't know if you could take a child or a baby and turn it into a human form weapon either. So they're humans.
Also,
but,
who's testing them? Remember, Raigyo is the one who owned the picture, and he was the one who was going crazy because he's got the thing inside of him. How is he testing anyone? My brain just stopped working. Akiyuki is sleeping. It's covered in claw marks because that's where Raigyo was sleeping. It wasn't he was going crazy as like mad scientist going crazy. He was going crazy as in lashing out going crazy.
That's my best guess.
All right. So the Tessic people no longer have a homeland and are considered to have sold out to the northern government, having betrayed the anti-government army, which we know so far to be part of the South. Additionally, apparently they are human traffickers. Well, we'll see how much of that turns out to be usable in the final edit.
Yeah.
All right, so the final note. So we saw the cultist, sorry, I didn't say this word out loud before, Jibarishi dudes land in a war zone and inspect dead bodies for, I guess, souls. The guy who is being hunted says Hiroku, but I'm thinking that's just another word for soul. They find a dead pregnant mother, and I guess the baby was still alive in the womb as they took its soul. I imagine killing it. They don't have any souls they didn't take any souls from the rest of the bile, though, which makes me think that either the soul moves on soon after death, and they got here too late, or that this was a killing done by the military to harvest those souls for the creation of human form weapons, and they had already been harvested, but someone missed the baby.
Either way, it's pretty horrifying.
I mean, it would be if it was real. My problem is that I'm distanced enough from the fact that this is fiction that I just don't, it's a thing that's happening. As I said before, I'm jaded to a lot of stuff because I've seen enough media. Now, I can't pick up like a book and like, and that's when they killed 7,000 babies, and be like, I've never heard that before. It's just like, you gotta imagine what God's perspective is, right? If you were a god of the multiverse, right, and you've seen World War II happen 7 billion times over throughout all the multiverse creations, are you going to be a little bit of nerd to it? Like, wow,
Yeah,
I'm seeing
that
human
brings a
suffering at its
whole kettle of
worst.
fish.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
You
like,
can just become. I keep using the word jaded, but I guess a nerd to it is the better term. It's just that I've seen the same thing so many times that it's like not shocking to see tragedy anymore.
yeah.
That's
Well,
why.
yeah,
That's why I'm saying God's perspective. In that, what if you saw the whole entirety of the multiverse and you just see the most horrific stuff constantly? You would not be surprised by what people can do to one another. I'm not saying I have
I'm not
God's
surprised.
perspective. I'm just saying that I've read a lot of media. I've consumed a lot of media.
I still find it horrifying. So
Here's the thing, Lessons, and I'm not putting anything on you, so don't take this as an insult. But sometimes words are performative, and I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying that a lot of people can say horrifying and not actually feel anything, but they understand that horror is the thing that needs to be expressed. Like, when you watch the scene with me, I didn't see you go, oh my god, like a horror reaction. You just said the word, that's horrifying. So it's like, if I say something is awful, I am not presented with awe that makes me cower in fear of a thing. I am just saying the word that I know has the definition that is supposed to apply to the situation.
no, I felt it. It's just I wasn't necessarily, gonna mime it out necessarily.
Well, here's the thing. The miming it out part is the visceral reaction to it. And if you don't have the visceral reaction, what is the horror coming from?
Ripping of a pile of dead bodies and ripping of a soul of a child that was
No.
up
I
there
understand that. I
behind.
understand that, Lessons. But horrifying. What does horrifying mean? Horrifying mean if there's no expression of horror. Like I said, if I just say the words, I feel like that's just performative. I'm not assaulting you on this. I'm not attacking you on this. You can be horrified, and I just don't understand. Again, this could just be an element that I'm emotionally dumb, and that's why sometimes I just don't have any reaction to these things, and I just say, "Oh, that is horrifying," because I understand what other people mean when they say horrifying. For me, I don't
Well, talking
feel
about
anything because it's
distances that
art.
I have seen jaded. I think is a good term. Actual horrifying things. So maybe I mean, the fictional aspects calculate me my visceral reaction, and also try and focus on the scene and what's happening. So, but the more I think about it, the more disgusting it gets.
I
It's
guess
just maybe it's delayed action.
to follow my train of thought, does a thing become different definition-wise the less you care about, or maybe not care is not the right word, the less you feel for it? Say if you were a homeschooled kid who never got to watch TV before, and then you turn this on and you see a pile of dead bodies, and maybe you are actually horrified, like viscerally, turn the TV off, I can't watch this, horrified. Versus us, or at least me from this example, who is just inured to the shit that I just don't feel anything when I watch it. Does the word horrified no longer apply to me, and I just say this is bad because that's how low down the train of emotion it goes
It
for me?
depends. Because, for example, I found myself not recently, but often not finishing books that I've been reading because I have this dread that I know where is it. Even anime I'm watching, it's like I know where this is going, and I don't want to see it, so I have to switch it off. Right. So I think still be able to get horrified or find something awful in media. Right. In fact, I would say my reactions can be more visceral nowadays, especially when I'm watching it by myself, than anything else. Then again, it might turn out that I was completely wrong. I still watch it and like, oh, I thought this was going to happen. It turns out that it wasn't going to happen, right? My expectations were not fulfilled. But in fact, I used to watch more stuff that was more graphic in the past, and now I'm just turned off completely to it. So.
Well, I was trying to go through the definition of terms. you latched onto my homeschool kid who never saw anything, and then you just went with that. I was saying that we say horrified for a very specific visceral reaction to a thing that you were repulsed by, and I'm saying that somebody who's become inured by that shit over time might not use the word horrified anymore, although they use the word horrified because that's the that is what is the expected term to be used here. But if you actually measured it on their own emotional scale, what they're feeling, they might just say, "Oh, that's bad," because it doesn't elicit the same rejection that someone who would say
it also
horrified
might
actually
be
feels.
that different people might react differently. Not some people get very jumping, very big situations. Anything that happens, some people don't, right? There was times where I would not cry in movies. Now I find myself being more weepy about a lot of scenes, right? More connected there. So was I not feeling it in the past and now I'm more feeling of it? I mean, just because I not always able to portray it on cue doesn't mean that, and even then portray something on cue might be even more fake because I'm giving you what you expect. Oh, I'm supposed to be horrified. Oh, I'm horrified.
I mean, how does it feel, Lessons, on your path to being a bitch? I'm joking. I'm joking. You're crying a lot now. I'm joking. We've had this conversation. I cry a lot of stupid shit, commercials and whatnot. Who knows what's going to set me off? It just felt like a funny entrance to a joke. How's it feel becoming a bitch? Slap in the face out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with all of that said, nothing left to do but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
It's kind of funny. I think you could probably switch out Durarara's first theme with this one.
I would say second season.
What?
Well, yeah, I guess they're more. Both of them had a lot of percussion, so they have that in similar.
So you're lagged out there for a bit. You just like, well, yeah. Just stared up in nowhere. Yeah, I just mean the beat, the tone, the first opening percussion really matches with this one.
Yeah.
No other thoughts?
More energetic as well.
No, I mean,
it still gives me
in
a
general,
strong
not just my theme of the songs could be replacing one another.
Also still gives me a strong Eureka 7 feel to it.
I don't feel that, but at the same time, I haven't watched Eureka 7 in forever.
And Eureka 7 / a little bit of Ghibli, slightly. Some of the designs.
Oh, yeah, we already talked about that a while ago.
And also the pacing reminds me also of, what's the name? A little bit of Digimon too. I think you talked about that.
I didn't. Maybe you did. I didn't really ever watch Digimon. Like 3 or 4 episodes of the first.
Oh. I had the wrong audio.
Well, there you go. I almost had a note about the ASP forces that we saw. And then she just said that's what they're called in the South.
We have now the Far East Economy.
Autonomy.
Okay. Yeah.
You said economy.
So these are mechs, I suppose, as opposed to human form weapons, right?
It seems that way. Seems like they had rockets last time. What a Roy Mustang sing this is. Except that it's actually raining. I almost made a note. remember she's talking about her mom and dad are dead. That it seemed like she was talking to somebody, not to herself. Although she got hit, so maybe she actually has the Roku in her.
Maybe. Interesting that here, they're Japanese, there's kanji, where in other places has been stuff like,
They've got
Greek
their own
letters and
language.
like,
They've got their own
yeah.
written language thing.
Yeah. Well, the intro has Greek characters. So.
No, I mean, like, look at that right there. And on their maps and everything, they've got their own, like, script.
Those like kids.
They are kids. They're talking about their parents.
Oh.
Hey, it's the thing from the opening. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be the reveal that Ishu saved her from human trafficking. It's either that or they got like a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah. Wow, that's...
But remember, though, I already had a whole note about their numbers not adding up. Well, maybe I'm not here for your benefit. But remember, he said he hates soldiers, even though he saved this guy last time.
Oh, he's painted like the other people?
Well, we already met him before.
Yeah, no, he was in the crater on the ground. There were the
explosion site in the city with the mother and the daughter thing. What, in those hammer pants? How would you even be able to tell? Said who? Ever.
Is that a human form weapon? They have one of the rings.
Okay, you're just being obtuse. Like, literally just reach through the front of the stairs.
すがだな、泣きやみ。そいつは昨日咲いた。6年育ててやっとな。
税源どう？
持ってくか？
うん、いい。ちゃんと船を守るんだぞ。
So we're just making all this rattling noise. You can kind of see through it, and it's got nothing inside.
会いましたね。いつ戻るのかな、泣きやみ。心配しないでご飯食べなさい。
どこ行っちゃったの？帰ってくるんだよね。
すぐ戻るわよ。おかわりは？
俺も気になってんだ。泣きやみずっと元気なかったろ。
イシューとちょっとな。お互い
お互い頑固もんで言う。
I don't know, is Ishu also one of them? You should, like, wipe the shit off her face?
Yeah.
泣きやみがいないと飯も来ない。そういうのやめない？ごめん。すぐ持っていく。後でいいよ。風呂入るから。
泣きやみどこ行ったの？
ありがとう。
安心しろ。人の肉は入っちゃいねえよ。
Because that's a thing that we now have to also be concerned about.
Yeah.
女船長とはうまくいってるのか？先端島で
Ooh, sexist too.
だろ？ルイコンの経典に記されている通りだ。
サンノーバは生きているの。
生き残りはそう信じている。
I mean, we know that she is.
今、テシクを治めているのは若い娘だ。覚えているか？太陽のたてがみを持つ女。
クジレイか。
聖地奪還を目論んでいる。
無茶だ。
ああ、民族規模の自殺行為だ。世界の混乱はサンノーバの導きだと思い込んでいる。
Cool, we have a terrorist organization now.
I mean, they were called terrorists from the very beginning, so. But then again,
No, we called them terrorists from the very beginning. They've called them nothing. We only just got their name for their group last episode. Your father kept us up his ass for 30 years. Yeah, no, not the best Christopher Walken. Forgot to include your own letter to Haru.
次は半年後だ。
ねえ、アクシバ兄さん。
なんだよ、気色悪い。半年なんてすぐだ。気長に待ってろ。
バラすよ、泣きやみのピンナップ。
最悪だな、お前。
信じますから、アクシバ速達伝説。
たく、しょうがねえな。
But also, the truck is getting further and further away.
行くよ。
I guess he's superhuman.
I don't know what he is.
Or he's gonna take a shortcut.
That was realistically fast, not like the Flash fast. I thought he was gonna like jump on Nakayami's like jet scooter thing. Meanwhile, in the Lazarus pit.
Oh.
あの巨大ザムドから再抽出したヒルコを投与したのです。
貴様、自分のしていることが分かっているのか？
およしなさい。今さら被害者のふりをするのは。すべては内地からの指示だということをお忘れなく。
どういうことだ？
考えてもごらんなさい。
I'm assuming that the doctor saved his life back to the last war in the same way that whatever he's doing to her, and that's why he's upset about it. Ah, the Girin defense.
Yeah.
We'll all hang from the gallows if they catch us for this.
その寂しさよくわかるよ。
Battered box.
Technically the third time now we've seen the title of the episode.
なんだ、お前か。
Ironically, the most clothes she's worn.
Yeah.
思ったよりきつかったっす。すいません、迷惑かけて。
戻ってこないかもな。
いや、でも秋葉は
泣き闇のことだ。仕事とはいえ、他人の思いなんか聞きたかないよな。みんな自分のことで精一杯。泣き闇には人型の声まで聞こえるらしい。
喧嘩したって聞きました。
なら簡単だ。仲直りすれば元通り。聞いたか、泣き闇ってのは本当の名前じゃないって。
え？
私が拾ったんだよ。最初はずーっと泣きっぱなしだった。何が
She was a baby?
みたいに泣き続けて。泣き闇って怒鳴ったのを周りのバカどもが勘違いしてね。泣き闇ってさ。今じゃ泣きはしないが、可愛げもな
Like I said, I feel like this was the reveal that was coming.
Yeah.
ザムドの世話を焼いといて、あの子自分がどうすりゃいいか分かってないんだ。
See what I say lessons, unrelated to anything we said. You lean back when you're about to sneeze. Everyone understands this. Even Japanese animators understand what you apparently have not learned in your entire lifespan.
I sneeze. I'm not gonna make excuses for how I sneeze.
Well, you should.
Now,
Nobody knows what's coming with you.
あっちだろ。いつものコースさ。何言ってる？は？店先に置いてあるのは何だって聞いてんだよ。
Milk? Yeah, say it. Clearly milk.
キンキンに冷えてる。体に染みるぜ。それでも走る。秋葉は伝説のために。あばよ。
On one hand, I've seen her mostly naked so far, so seeing her almost barely naked is not like a huge thing. Additionally, I'm repulsed by cigarettes, so
泣き闇は
戻ってきてね。
冷やらしいじじいだ。深夜に手招きとはな。
yeah. Also, you know, you got her by both arms behind her back, so
ヒナを取られたクロコドリ、そんな顔だな。
私が子持ちに見える？猛録するには早すぎるんじゃない？
紅で反旗を書く女、イシュ。あんただからあの。
yeah, she's got one of their names.
で、今度は取り戻しに来た。
ザンバニ号はあの子のいるべき場所じゃない。俺たちはこれから北に入る。
泣き闇は？
テシクの村へ向かうべきだと伝えたが、そううまくはいかねえさ。あんたのしつけは行き届いている。だが忘れるな。泣き闇はいつかお前の元を離れる。話してやれ。俺たちはどこ行ったってよそもんだ。甘えあったら血が腐る。二度と会いに来るな。
政権だ。
早く去れ。
So she would have gone with them, but they're rejecting her? I don't know if rejecting her is the right word.
Yeah, so
They busted nut all over her.
walnut. A walnut.
Okay,
Oh, she's
so that's what
raising
she's.
her own?
Yeah.
時間が経つほど謝りづらくなるぜ。うちの両親の経験談。
心配するな。頭を下げて。
I'm assuming we all know which parent.
俺にいい考えがある。ちょっと時間くれる？
やまないね雨。
俺さ、軍のメインソウル試験受けようと思ってる。ASP スーツの操縦。人型兵器を鎮圧する。
Oh, I see where this is going.
Well, I mean, it's episode 5. We gotta set them all up to encounter each other again in different ways.
Yeah.
どうやって受け入れたらいい？
Study.
Okay, he
So they
clearly is
sent
in
her
love with
back
her,
out?
and she's in. He clearly is in love with her, and she's in love with.
シダラさん。
なんでこんなところに。
シダラさん。復興作業一緒に行かない？帰りたいよ。みんなのところに帰りたいよ。
I'm just surprised that they experimented on her and then sent her back out.
綺麗で明るくて。やめてよ。そんなんじゃない。
Uh-oh.
They said she got hit by the thing, so she had a Heroku in her.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, the Haru
Yeah.
also got hit by the thing, so this could happen
Yeah.
to Haru. Oh, what do you have in your pocket? I was about to say you're telegraphing your death because you're planning for the future. You never plan for the future. We're gonna get our first death on the board.
北の仕業だ。島民にはそう伝えておけ。中佐、濡れます。いらんよ。みそぎの雨だ。私の進化。
Literally a Roy Mustang scene, except that it again is actually raining this time. Oh, come on, man! You also saw it was that girl. That's a bad jump. You get mud on your own neck. Yeah, tell him at least. He would know something. He saw her. What a weird way to go. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, that's
Great
what it
time
means
for
to
a
join the
rainbow.
army, dude. Yeah.
I mean, it could be an element of Nina Tucker. Better to kill her than to let her suffer.
Yeah.
You owe me milk. I mean, to be fair, you did stop a couple of times and still made it, so... Here's hoping he's not lying. Yeah, still a good show.
Yeah. I mean, the problem I have is there's so much that we don't know that I'm still kind of lost.
So we're still
I
on
like
only
what I'm
episode
seeing,
5,
but I'm
yeah.
a little, huh?
So we're only on episode 5. Still plenty of time for more stuff to be shown to us.
Yeah.
There's just, I wouldn't even say they're slow rolling it out. They're acting like it's a lived-in world. So we find out stuff when stuff becomes prescient to know. I'm just disappointed because, what's her name? Shadara. I'm disappointed with Shadara. Only in that I expected a storyline to come from that. And then she's dead. Well, because you kind of like that character archetype. I've lost everything. I've been infected with a superpower thing. And then there she is getting experimented on. And it's like, I expected a whole character arc to come out of her. And they decided to use her as a Nina
Example
Tucker.
of how cruel this world is.
Yeah, Nina Tucker, essentially.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just doesn't play as hard to me as a life hard lived.
She's a victim of the war, basically.
Well, yeah, but follow me here. Sometimes living is harder. I would not do it this way. We've already seen tools fall off the side. Can you imagine all your clothes falling off the side? I think that confirms that I'm right.
Yeah, what?
Sorry. About Nakayami. Start of the episode, we deal with the element that the Tessic were human trafficking with the kids were taken away from the parents. And then we see one of the kids taking out one of those sunflowers.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, she's giving a sunflower to Ishu, the way the kid was showing Ishu the sunflower, which seems to be expressive of a shared experience. So I think that confirms that I've been right about Nakayami. It seems to me to be a visual
metaphor.
Well, it's not a metaphor. I guess it could be a metaphor. I don't consider it. That's why I paused. It's like, metaphor was the first thing to come out of my mouth, and it's like, no. It is visually connective.
I mean, in the next song, I think we're going to see the kids, the former classmates, join the war, right?
No.
On the
that
armor.
Would be a massive time skip if it was. Dude still got to take his test, and he has to go through training to actually be able to do the stuff, and then he has to... I don't think you get a deployment immediately. Like I said, I think what we're doing is a long-term, this is what the characters' lives are. So we see them from the start, and then somewhere near the middle, maybe, or nearest to the end, they're going to cross paths again for the first time, and they're going to be completely different characters. You ever see Now and Then, Here and There?
No.
Oh. Seminal piece of war is bad. Imagine, like, characters from right now being transported into Mad Max all of a sudden. Except the world is worse than Mad Max. Like, hard R shit happens in there, and you have to deal with that. They're like, that person doesn't die, they don't go away, they're a main character, and they have some real hardcore problems. And having to deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of going apart and coming back together and then finding out how we've all changed because of what's happened to us, sort of thing. I kind of feel like that's where the narrative is going, that we're a disparate, like, I imagine, what's his name, Fuji something, is going to separate from Haru at some point as well and do his, like, military thing, and then that they're going to come back together. It's going to be all completely different paths.
Maybe. Again, you may still have the time is going to take for them to get to whatever testing.
If they
clearly,
the other guy said that she's going that way. Ishu's the captain. She decides where the ship's going.
Yeah. And the whole retaking of their lost land, and that explains why they're rebels / terrorists. But were they the people who gave the human form weapons to the North? They seem to be the ones who have the understanding about souls and whatnot, so...
No, it couldn't be. Couldn't be, because they're planning to take back
the scientists...
No, I'm saying they're planning to take back their lands from the North, so why would they be giving the North the weapons that they then themselves have to fight?
And the scientists from the South also had facial markings, so I guess he was from the same group of people, and he was studying the human form weapon. So maybe he doesn't know where it comes from.
Well, he's doing experimentation. I assume he knows something.
I know, but
and also the dad Ryoko. Sorry, whatever his name is. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. He apparently knows enough about it too.
Yeah. The usual. That's it. That.
Yeah, no, I could open up the board. I'm trying to do everything off the top of my head.
So there's that. Yeah, interesting episode. Not as, I guess it's one of those that doesn't require it to be as action packed of the last one. This is more of we had some action, but that wasn't the focus of the episode. It's more of, it feels more like place setting. We're setting the things here. Oh, she met with that guy who gave the walnut, then he sent the letter. They have this discussion of where they're going next. It seemed to me like, oh, hey, I'm going to take the exam to join the army. Oh, hey, what happened to that girl that she's been wandering around like crazy? Right? It's all about, okay, we're setting the things into place. So when it happens in the next couple of episodes or whatever, or a new arc or whatever, you know where they're coming from, right? This is one of those episodes where you're putting people in their place. In order
I prefer episodes like this. This
is
a build-up episode, but I don't need payoff episodes. Well, it seems to me that you're equating an action episode to a payoff episode, and I don't think that's necessary.
No. I'm contrasting this episode with what happens last time. I'm not saying that they are the same or even no.
Well, last time wasn't a payoff episode either. What happened last time?
No, it was just a lot of action. Fight. It wasn't a payoff. No.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that this is fine. I liked this. This sets people up. I guess technically it was a payoff episode for that one girl, in that her storyline ended here, and that I was expecting more from her, but I guess I was just looking for something that wasn't there.
Also, you have to consider from a writer's point of view, you already have a lot of characters, so pruning the branches is a good way of focusing back to where you need to go.
So are you new to this channel? A lot of characters. Maybe you need to go looking at some of those other boards that you're a part of.
Some writers can handle it. Other writers are like, no, let's keep it a tighter group.
I'm just saying
that way we don't.
Your opinion doesn't exist in a vacuum. If you say this show has a lot of characters, but couldn't add too many more. Wait till we get back to Legend of the Galactic Heroes
that they have
week.
Too many. And I think the writer might think, oh yeah, we have too many characters on the board, so let's start pruning the branches so that it's like Game of Thrones. Why all these characters die? They die because you kept introducing new characters, and J.R. Martin is killing them all, so he can just move on to the next character.
J.R. Martin.
J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah, you left out an R.
Yeah.
My two favorite JRs, Tolkien and Martin. Oh, and that one from Dallas.
Yeah. Patrick Duffy.
All right, well, all that said, I think we're probably already off the rails with Xam'd, and nothing else to say here, really. So I guess until next time, with the notes there, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?